Days away from the mega fight between Terrance Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Earlier today, Terrance Crawford arrived in Las Vegas, and boy, did Terrance Crawford look like he was in tremendous shape. He really looks like he's in great shape. He looks bigger than he's usually comes in at, and I feel like he's gonna be ready for Errol Spence, man. This fight has been one of those fights where I've gone back and forth with my pick. I've stayed with Terrance Crawford the entire way, but I've had my doubts because Errol Spence Jr. is a tremendous fighter with a great jab, and he's so consistent, and he stays true to the game, his game plan every single time. Errol Spence has never been failed to do that, but Terrance Crawford is going to bring a different arsenal to Errol Spence that I think he's never seen before. Errol Spence has never fought a guy who's got as much will to win as him before, so this will be very interesting to see come July 29th. I'm very excited for this fight. It hasn't been talked about as much as I thought it would be for such a mega fight like this. This is one of the best fights we've seen since Hagler or Ray Leonard versus Hagler. So the fact that it's not being talked about the way that I thought it would be with 10 days away, I definitely want to talk about that fight more often. And I think Terrance Crawford is really gonna, because I think this fight's going the distance. So I think Crawford is gonna outscore him, because I think one thing about Terrance Crawford is he's always been the more busy fighter than Errol Spence. So if he can just stay busy, get on the scorecards, and not let Errol Spence really hurt him, because if Errol Spence can hurt him or break him down in the later rounds, that's where I think Crawford will struggle at. But I think Crawford will win a lot of these rounds, outscoring Spence round to round. So I think Terrance Crawford has a legitimate chance to win this fight. I'm still picking him to win this fight, and I'm looking forward to it. And
doesn't have the firepower or the mentality or temperament to really engage in a dogfight.
And in other boxing news, we are 6 days away from the hype train himself, Inoue, picking up his first loss. Earlier today, Teddy Atlas compared this fight to Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, with Inoue being Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather being Stephen Fulton. However, he still picked Inoue to win the fight. That's when you know that the hype train is really ran on Inoue, and they've just been building up his name, and just they're putting no respect on Fulton to win this fight. I've been watching a lot of people in their predictions on this fight, and barely anyone is picking Fulton to win, except for a few people who really believe in him. Most people out there in the media, in the American media, are definitely picking Inoue to win. They just want to continue to build up on the hype, which is insane. But if you look at Inoue's resume, he truly is a hype. He has not fought any household names, and everyone keeps saying that there's no household names in the smaller weight classes, but that's just simply not true. He hasn't fought any big names really, other than Nonito Donaire, and Donaire was way past 35 years old. He was way out of his prime. So this is going to be a step up for Stephen Fulton. And Teddy Atlas mentioned in the fight that Stephen Fulton's going to have to use his legs, but I guess he doesn't want to mention watching any of Stephen Fulton's fights, because Stephen Fulton uses his legs more than anybody. That's like one of his strong suits, is using his legs to build leverage, and he's one of the best clinchers, and clinching at the right time to get position. And Inoue is going to be in a dirty dog fight. I mean, just because he's a power puncher, I'm yet to see him in one of those type of fights, because he's so used to just walking his opponents down and beating them and bullying them and then being scared of him. I don't think that's the case in this fight. People need to understand that. So I am more than excited. 6 days away from Stephen Fulton ending up the hype train and beating Inoue, and the fans not knowing what to say.